Thanks for joining me today as we rehabilitate a frozen shoulder. Some optional props are a foam roller, light hand weights, and a light to medium stretchy band. Lying supine lengthwise on the foam roller, take some big, deep breaths. Inhale the arms to the ceiling for puppet arms, raising both arms high to the sky and then lowering the arms down into the shoulder sockets to massage out the upper back muscles. Next, place your fingertips on your shoulders and do big elbow circles, breathing deeply as you circle the arms around in one direction several times. And then reverse direction. Now grab your stretchy band, it should be a light to medium weight, and hold it to the ceiling. Hands are at least shoulder width apart. Have your palms face each other so your thumbs face the tops of your shoulders. Inhale, pull the band apart by drawing your shoulder blades together in the back. Exhale as you release. If this is too hard, then just hold a wider grip on the band. Really feel like you're pulling from your shoulder blade area of your upper back, not from your hands. Next, hold much wider on the band so you can get a big stretch of those arms reaching far apart from each other. Inhaling to open, exhaling to raise the arms back up. Feel the work coming from the upper back and enjoy the stretch that you get along the front of the chest and the front of the shoulders. Next, we're going to do a diagonal pull. So when you open the arms, instead of opening them straight out to the sides, raise one to the far corner of the room on one side, and the other arm goes down and away to the other corner of the room. So you're just pulling the arms apart on a diagonal, inhaling, reaching them apart one way, exhaling them back up, inhaling, reaching them apart the other way, and exhaling back up. Continue for several repetitions. Now relax the arms for a couple of breaths, releasing the head, neck, and shoulders. This time, pick up the band and have your hands holding pretty narrow on the band, no more than shoulder width apart, but maybe even more narrow than that. Palms face each other, thumbs towards your shoulders. Keep the elbows hugged in towards your sides as you externally rotate the arms, pulling the band apart slightly. You should feel this exercise deep in the shoulder sockets, and it may be difficult whether or not you have a frozen shoulder. Place the band to the side and carefully roll off the roller, and lie flat on your back for a moment just to evaluate how your head, neck, and shoulders and upper back feel. Now come to standing and have your hands placed against a wall, countertop, or a desk, or maybe even a chair. They need to be shoulder width apart or slightly wider. Walk your feet back so you're in a standing plank position. Depending on the height of the platform your hands are on, you may be on your tippy toes. Just make sure your shoulders are about in line with your hands. Take some big, deep breaths and just hold this isometric exercise. Now drop the heels and lean the hips backwards and stretch through the front of the shoulders. Head just drops right in between your arms. Take some big, deep breaths there. Now come back into the standing plank position and we're going to add some rotation. Inhale, raise your right arm out to the side and overhead, rotating the spine, trying actually to work your left shoulder. Bring the right hand down and then switch sides, trying to work the right shoulder this time. We're moving and rotating the spine and the chest and the shoulder girdle around the humerus bone of the arm. It's a great way to strengthen and stretch at the same time. Placing the hands down, shift the hips back and let the head hang through the arms again and stretch. Now come back into your standing plank position, or as I'm doing, more of a standing quadruped position for some protraction and retraction of the shoulders. Push the floor away from you as you round your back slightly, and then soften the chest through the arms, squeezing the shoulder blades to retract them. Breathing in and out as you move the chest through and away from the arms. Next, lean down and place your elbows on the surface. And then you're going to hang your head and chest through the arms, trying to get a stretch through the front of the shoulders. The hands can come into a prayer position. Be gentle, as this one can be painful and just very difficult if you have a frozen shoulder. slowly curl up the spine, and when you're upright, clasp your hands behind your back, opening up the front of the chest. Next, we'll be doing some standing arm work. You'll want your stretchy band hooked to a doorknob, or I have it hooked to the Pilates Cadillac post, about shoulder height. Your left hand will be behind your back, holding onto the band. Keep the left arm bent. As you hold the band, you're going to walk away from where the band is tied to, stretching through the outer side of the shoulder. And then you'll take a few steps back close to the band to release the stretch. You'll do this several times on this arm, and then we'll be switching sides. As you walk away, feel the stretch through the deltoid muscle, through the shoulder joint, the bicep tendon, but just be cautious as to how far you go and don't push through pain. Now switch sides. This time the right hand is behind your back, holding the band. You can see here, this is my frozen shoulder, so I have a really difficult range of motion, or limited range of motion, I should say. So just walk away as far as you can to feel the stretch as the hand is pulled behind your back further, and then walk close to where the band is loaded on the pole to release the stretch. And do this several times. Release the band and roll out your head, neck, and shoulders. For this next standing exercise, I chose to use one of the Pilates springs, but you can certainly use the band for this as well. You're going to stand facing where the band is loaded, or where the spring is loaded from, and you're going to pull your hands back behind you. Now you can certainly do this with one arm at a time. I'm doing both arms, squeezing the shoulder blades in the back to strengthen the mid-upper back muscles, opening up the front of the chest and shoulder. Next, place the handle in the right hand, stand sideways from the band, and press your straight arm away from your body. Make sure to start with your hand straight in line out in front of your chest, in line with your shoulder, and then press away. Depending on the strength of your spring or your band, you may not get very far, and that's okay. Just try to work from the shoulder and from the mid-upper back. Switch sides to strengthen the rotator cuff muscles on the left arm. Next, come to a seated position on a Pilates box or a chair. You'll be holding a 1, 2, or 3 pound weight in your right hand. Arms are straight behind your hips with your palms facing back. Bend your elbows, gliding the back of your hand up your backside. Basically, you're moving your arms slightly up several inches from the base of your glute to the top of the glute muscle. You don't want to lift higher than that because you'll be getting up into your trap muscles, and we're trying to really just work through the posterior deltoid muscles. Then you'll switch the weight to the other hand. You're going to be moving both arms at the same time, even though one arm or one hand is holding a hand weight. That way you don't overuse your trap muscles. Bending and straightening the arms, just barely. Again, you're only bending a few inches, moving the hand up the backside slightly and down. You just want to keep your hands behind you slightly. Next, come to standing, holding a light to medium stretchy band wide in your hands. Inhale your arms up and back behind you, bringing the band overhead. And then return the band up to the ceiling and forward in front of you. Holding onto the band as wide as you need to be able to rotate the shoulders in this nice big stretch. Another option would be to use a long pole like a broomstick. I'm just turning sides so that you can see me from both angles. Breathing in and out. My right arm definitely struggles on this one, so be real cautious if you have a frozen shoulder or any rotator cuff issues. Now release the band and take your right arm across your chest, using your left hand for leverage to pull that arm gently. Switch arms, crossing the left one in front of the chest, nice straight arm, and gently pull to stretch through the back of the shoulder. And then bring your right arm overhead. This one's a struggle for me. Using your left hand to pull on your right elbow. You can add a little side bend as well to get a deeper stretch. And then switch arms, lifting the left one up and overhead, using your right hand on your left elbow to pull gently and side stretch. Inhale those arms to the ceiling, exhale them down and back behind you, and gently clasp those hands, opening up the front of the chest, and finish with a few deep breaths. Thank you for working out with me today. Have a good day.